If you have ADHD, rest often doesn't feel the way people say it should. Instead of feeling calm or refreshed, rest can feel uncomfortable, agitating, or even stressful. You might sit down to relax and feel restless, guilty, bored, or mentally noisy. Sometimes resting feels harder than working. If this sounds familiar, there is nothing wrong with you, and it's not because you don't know how to relax. It's because ADHD changes how rest is experienced in the nervous system. Most advice around rest assumes a nervous system that naturally downshifts when stimulation decreases. ADHD nervous systems often don't do that. When external stimulation drops, internal stimulation increases. Thoughts speed up, sensations become louder, emotions rise to the surface. Instead of rest feeling soothing, it can feel exposing. This is why many people with ADHD avoid rest without realizing it. Not consciously, but instinctively. You might fill quiet moments with scrolling, background noise, multitasking, or constant activity. From the outside, it can look like restlessness or poor self-control. From the inside, it's regulation. Your brain is trying to manage discomfort. One reason rest feels uncomfortable is baseline understimulation. ADHD brains often operate at a lower baseline dopamine level. Activity, novelty, urgency, and engagement raise dopamine and make you feel more regulated. When you stop, dopamine drops. That drop can feel like emptiness, irritation, or unease. Rest removes stimulation before the nervous system knows how to self-soothe. Another reason is internalized pressure. Many people with ADHD grow up being told they're not doing enough, not trying hard enough, or wasting time. Over time, this becomes an internal voice. Even when no one else is watching, rest triggers guilt. You may feel like you should be doing something productive, improving yourself, or catching up. Rest becomes morally charged instead of neutral. This guilt doesn't mean rest is wrong. It means rest has been paired with shame. When the brain associates rest with criticism or danger, it resists it. Discomfort is a learned response, not a personal failing. Rest also brings awareness. When you're busy, there's less space to feel emotions, body sensations, or unresolved stress. Rest removes distractions. Suddenly, feelings surface in anxiety, sadness, frustration, or exhaustion. For ADHD brains, which often experience emotions intensely, this can feel overwhelming. Avoiding rest becomes a way to avoid emotional overload. This doesn't mean rest causes negative emotions. It reveals what was already there. But without emotional safety, that revelation feels threatening. Another factor is identity. Many people with ADHD learn to define themselves through effort, productivity, or problem solving. Being busy becomes part of who you are. When you stop, you may feel disoriented. If you're not doing, who are you? This identity gap can make rest feel unsettling rather than restorative. ADHD also affects time perception. Rest can feel endless. 5 minutes of stillness may feel longer than an hour of engaging work. This distorted sense of time makes rest feel intolerable. The mind wants stimulation to anchor itself in the present. There's also the issue of hypervigilance. Many ADHD adults live in a constant state of mental alertness, scanning for what they might forget, mess up, or miss. Rest requires letting go of vigilance. For a nervous system used to being on guard, that can feel unsafe. The body stays tense even when the mind wants to relax. This is why rest advice like just sit still or clear your mind often backfires. Stillness without safety increases anxiety. ADHD rest needs support, not emptiness. Another overlooked reason rest feels uncomfortable is that many people only rest when they're already exhausted. By the time you allow yourself to rest, your nervous system is overloaded. Rest then feels dysregulating instead of calming. This creates a false belief that rest doesn't work when the real issue is timing. Rest is not just stopping, it's transitioning. ADHD brains often struggle with transitions. Moving from high stimulation to low stimulation abruptly can feel jarring. Without a buffer, rest feels like a crash rather than a relief. This is why active rest often works better for ADHD. Gentle movement, low-stakes creativity, walking, stretching, listening to music, or doing something mildly engaging can help the nervous system downshift gradually. Rest doesn't have to mean stillness to be real rest. It's also important to redefine rest. Rest is not the absence of productivity, it's the presence of recovery. Recovery looks different for different brains. For ADHD, Rest often includes stimulation, just the right kind. Calm stimulation, predictable stimulation, or self-chosen stimulation can be regulating rather than draining. Another reason rest feels uncomfortable is fear of losing momentum. Many people with ADHD rely on bursts of energy or focus when they appear. Resting during these moments can feel risky, like you'll lose the ability to function. This fear keeps you pushing past limits. Over time, this leads to burnout, which makes rest even harder. Ironically, avoiding rest reduces your ability to access focus later. The brain needs recovery to re-engage. Rest is not the enemy of momentum. It's what makes momentum possible again. There's also grief tied to rest. Rest can highlight how tired you really are. It can make you aware of how long you've been pushing. This awareness can be painful. Avoiding rest avoids that grief. But grief doesn't disappear, it waits. Gentle rest allows grief to be processed instead of suppressed. ADHD rest becomes easier when it's permission-based rather than earned. Many people only rest once they've done enough, but the definition of enough keeps moving. Rest tied to achievement never feels safe. Rest tied to need is more sustainable. Another key shift is removing performance from rest. Rest doesn't have to look peaceful, quiet, or aesthetic. You don't have to enjoy it. Rest that feels neutral or even slightly uncomfortable can still be restorative. Expecting rest to feel amazing creates pressure. Rest also improves when it's predictable. Scheduled rest signals safety to the nervous system. When rest is random or guilt-driven, the brain stays alert. Predictable rest becomes part of the system rather than a disruption. ADHD-friendly rest also benefits from containment. Knowing when rest will start and end helps. Open-ended rest can feel anxiety-provoking. Timers, routines, or clear transitions make rest feel safer. It's also important to acknowledge that rest doesn't always fix everything immediately. Rest is cumulative. Small, regular rest periods are more effective than rare, forced breaks. This is especially true for ADHD nervous systems. Another powerful reframe is this: discomfort during rest does not mean rest is failing. It means your system is learning something new. If your nervous system has spent years in overdrive, slowing down will feel unfamiliar. Unfamiliar doesn't mean harmful. Over time, as rest becomes safer, the discomfort decreases. The nervous system learns that nothing bad happens when you stop. That learning takes repetition, not force. Rest also becomes easier when self-compassion is present. If rest is accompanied by self-criticism, it won't be restorative. If rest is accompanied by understanding, the nervous system relaxes. You're not resting because you failed. You're resting because you're human. One of the most important realizations is that rest is not the opposite of productivity. Burnout is. Rest prevents burnout. ADHD brains are especially sensitive to overload. Rest is a form of maintenance, not indulgence. You don't need to become someone who loves rest. You just need to become someone who allows it. Comfort can come later. Permission comes first. Inside Dopaloop Pro, we talk openly about rest, because so many ADHD adults feel broken for struggling with it. We help you redefine rest in ways that actually work for your brain without guilt, pressure, or unrealistic expectations. If you want ADHD-friendly support that makes rest feel safer over time, you'll find the link in the description.